Hey there and welcome to another G.I. Joe Classified Action Figure Review. Today we are taking a look at Destro. And I've got to say, before he's ever out of the box, he is impressive. He just puts off this very impressive appearance. Look at this. He has got some really cool artwork down here. This is really fascinating from the day I saw it, how they put the Cobra symbol around his neck, kind of like his big collar, red collar is. I've never put those two together. Maybe you have, but I thought that was kind of interesting. That really ties him into the Cobra organization more than it shows that he's kind of more of his own independent contractor running his own business, and he's just, a dealer. He's not really part of Cobra, but he kind of is. I don't know. So let's take a look at the box here. We're going to go to this side. This is what I call the art side. And, well, we see half of his face. The other half is right here. If I kind of do that, you can kind of see both sides. It's really pretty cool art. It's some of the better art that I've seen. We will flip around here to the back side. We've got the now standard group action shot. The thing that really screams Yo Joe, G.I. Joe, and all that really cool goodness. Then we have the abilities side, and the first thing I will point out is he is action figure number 3. He is the third, the 03 release, keeping in mind that the figures did start with 00, the Snake Eyes, but he is number 3 in this series for retail release, I guess is what you might call it. So here are his abilities. There are 4 of them. This is kind of a new type of visual file card for the packaging, I'm guessing, and they actually mean something. The top one represents a level 4 mechanical engineering ability. This represents level 1 light weapons, level 3 black market deals, level 4 weapons development. So from that, you can kind of piece together kind of like a file card. He designs, builds, and maintains complex machinery. He uses small handheld weapons. He can negotiate illegal deals for goods or services. And he tests and manufactures weapons. So yeah, you can kind of come up with a small biography for him. Now we're going to quickly actually read his biography. Thanks to gijoe.com, the website has this biography, and we're going to do that right now. A brilliant businessman, weapons developer, CEO, and engineer, Destro strictly adheres to a quiet personal code that places war, profit, and the success of his own family above all other things. He excels at brokering deals, clandestine negotiations, and double-cross missions. The refined and highly advanced weaponry produced by his company, Mars Industries, continues to reshape modern warfare. That's about as close as we're going to get to a file card these days for these figures, so there you go. There's a little bit about Destro. I'm tired of looking at the package. Let's get this thing open. Destro is out of his box, and the first thing I'm going to point out is that the insert is removable, and as I've mentioned in the past, these make a really cool background. Doesn't that Cobra logo, all that red, all the noise and the motion of the art just really make an awesome background? So if you're going to put this figure up on a shelf just for display, this could be a pretty cool thing. Why it's neat is you've got his name there, you've got his abilities there, and you have his number, and you could just line them all up. And, it's going to take up a little bit of width space here, but I think it's pretty cool. All right, we're going to get this thing out of here and start talking about his accessories. He comes with this really cool black and red blaster. It's got a scope up there, so apparently he can look through the scope at his enemy and target them really well. He comes with this gold handgun that I can't quite make out. I mean, I can see some details on here, but it doesn't really look like any gun I've seen, so it must be either one of those shrunken down pint-sized Nerf guns or some really cool sci-fi handgun. Either way, it's really cool. He comes with this briefcase that's got the red cobra symbol on one side and a non-painted cobra symbol on the back side. When you go and open it up the proper way, you got a computer here, keys and a screen and a cobra symbol, and you got piles of money. Oh boy, Destro, what are you about to buy, or what kind of deal did you just make? Two other kind of accessories that he comes with that are on his figure. First is the holster, the belt and the holster here. You can take that off. They can slide down over his legs and pop off. The other is the gold chain around his neck. The best way I found to take that off is to pop off his head and pull it off. You might stretch it out or break it if you try to pull it over the head. I didn't try that, but you can if you want to. This is an update to the version 1 figure that came out in the 80s, and I think that this guy looks really pretty good. I am quite impressed at how good he actually looks. There are some light gray patches and pieces here and there, but overall, I think this is an amazingly great looking figure. I'm quite pleased and quite happy with how it turned out, even if I'm not quite as pleased with the fulfillment of how it all happened. Ultimately, I am still quite pleased and happy about this figure, because it's all up to me, right? So anyway, Destro has about 38 points of articulation. That means he can move, he can bobble, he can wiggle, he can hinge all over the place. So let's take a look at where he can move and how he can move. So he can rotate his head left and right. His chin gets kind of stuck on his collar, so he won't be rotating all the way unless you're going to force it and bend it out of the way. He can look down and he can look up like that, but again, the collar kind of gets in the way. I think he moves his head in all the directions that he needs to. There is like a ball joint down here in the collarbone area and a ball joint up in the brain, the metal brain of Destro. He can rotate his arms at his shoulders all the way around, and they move back and forth. There is this little butterfly hinge in there, but it doesn't really move on either side. It's just kind of there. So I'm not really sure what good that does because it doesn't move. His biceps will rotate and he has a double pin elbow. His wrists will rotate and there is a hinge. It goes like this on both sides. This one's a little bit different than some of the other figures. He's got this wonderful, awesome, everybody loves ab crunch feature, and his waist will rotate and kind of wobble around just a little bit. Could he do the splits? Well, he can if he really wants to, but this is Destro. Why in the world would this dude do the splits? He's got the little joints in there that allow his legs to go up and down, and mine are quite mobile. Mine are very articulated. I've got some really good range there. He's got his thigh rotation, double pin in the knee, the calf at the boot rotates, and finally we're going to end up here at the ankle with the hinge and the rotation. So this guy is really articulated and he actually does move all over the place. He can get into some seriously awesome poses. So as I mentioned before, and I'll kind of show it to you, you can pop off his head, and there it goes already, to get this gold chain off, and then you can just pop it right back on. And I don't know, if you ask me, he kind of looks a little bit silly. I'm going to put the chain back on, but you can also see that neck rotation, the neck hinge there, and the ball joint. See if we can get his head back on. There we go. Don't tell anyone I just showed you what Destro looks like under the mask. It's a ball joint. So yeah, as I said, I think the colors are really, really cool. There's a few things about this figure that I really like. The wrist rockets, those are really, really cool. The head is really cool. The silver head is pretty nice and shiny. If you're a customizer and you know how to work with some paint, you might try getting some chrome paint or some sort of something to chrome it, and you might get a really cool looking head. It looks like my Destro has green eyes, just from what I can see from here. And I've heard there might be a blue eye variant, but don't quote me because that's just something I heard and I haven't actually seen anything about it. He's got a holster over here on his right leg, which the gold gun will fit right into there, just like so. And while maybe most figures won't have this problem, mine is a little bit loose. Mine's got some pretty loose, let's see if I can actually get it to where you can see it. Got some really loose hips here. So I don't know if that's because I was special and I'm lucky, or if they're all like that. Other than the loose hips, I think this is a pretty good feeling figure. He's pretty solid. Every time I bend him or move him in a position, he goes pretty willingly. It's pretty awesome. One thing I'll make note of is this case right here. You have to work a little bit to get it into his hand because his hand's pretty tight. You really got to bend that thing open and shove it in there, and then he will eventually hold it. Well, let's finish getting this guy geared up and see what he looks like. All right, that was really difficult. All I had to do was put his blaster gun, what I'm calling a blaster gun, in his left hand there. I think this guy is really awesome. I think he's menacing. I think he is neat. I think he is awesome and amazing. And if you're collecting this line, you need to get this figure. I think you'll be missing out on something really special and really awesome if you don't get this figure. You know, skip some of the others if you don't like. If you don't like Scarlet, skip her. You gotta get this figure. I think this is probably the best Cobra figure released to date, except for the Cobra Trooper. Let me say, I think this might be the best named Cobra character to date. The verdict still is out on Cobra Commander. So anyway, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please, give me a thumbs up. That'll help the channel out immensely, quite a bit, more than you'll ever know. Maybe you do know. So give me that thumbs up if you liked it. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon, so you will be notified when more and new future videos hit. Again, thank you for watching and stopping by. We will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.